Now, I'm not following the standard dialogue. I'm telling you, I'm trying to explain things to you in a little different way sometimes, still arriving at the same result. And so you have to learn to listen. A lot of people, when they practice a while and the dialogue is always the same, they get on automatic and they're doing their thing, not necessarily what the instruction is. So the main thing I want you to learn here is to connect the words to your body, to see that you really are following the script. And so let's start with the breathing. Breathing is a master function, so I will walk around you, make sure that you're doing it right, because that's another thing that people just get very sloppy and careless about. So you want to really tune up your breathing equipment, make sure that it serves you well and saturates your cell with some good oxygen so you really have good endurance. Now, start with your feet. Look at them, make sure that they're touching. The way you stand affects your spine, so always start with your feet, whichever posture it is. Fingers interlaced firmly into the chin. There should be a connection between the chin and the knuckles at all times, inhaling and exhaling. So let's go. Inhale, chin down, elbows up, and stretch those elbows high as you can, pulling the abdomen and lifting the chest a little more. And exhale. Slide the fingers together in a double fist. Push them into the chin. Make a double fist. And then resist a little bit. Strengthen your neck muscles. Touch the elbows. Inhale. Chin down, elbows up. Stretch more through the ribs so your lungs have a little more room. Pull up more. Stomach strong. And exhale. Shoulders down. Elbows forward. A little more like this. You're doing a backward bend. Inhale. The head should go back. The spine should stay straight. No pressure in the lower back. All the way up. And exhale. Shoulders down. Elbows forward. And then touch the elbows. Inhale. Chin down. Full lungs. Press more so you can pull the elbows more, stretching your ribs more. Stomach in, pull up the kneecaps too. And exhale. Slide the fingers together. Massage your hands. It's arthritis prevention. And touch the elbows. Inhale, chin down, elbows up. Pull in the abdomen. Pull up more. Line up the shoulders with your hip joints. And exhale. Now, shoulders down, head is back, but this stays up here. Feel the difference? And inhale. Chin down, elbows up, pull up more, pull in the abdomen. And exhale, shoulders down, elbows forward. Feel the stretch in the upper back and touch the elbows. Inhale. All the way up. Strong abdomen, elbows by the ears. And exhale. Shoulders down, spine straight. And touch the elbows. Inhale. Chin down, elbows up. Pull up the front. Start with the kneecaps, the abdomen, the rib cage, and the elbows. And exhale, mouth open, look at the ceiling. Slide the fingers together and touch the elbows. Inhale. Nice strong stretch. Pull up the front. Pull up, pull up, pull up. Train those abs. And exhale. Shoulders more down, elbows forward, spine straight, and touch the elbows. Inhale. Coordinate the breath with the movement. Make it smooth, make it elastic. Pull up more, and exhale. Keep the spine straight, and touch the elbows. Inhale. A little more, all the way. All the way. And exhale. Drop the shoulders more. Pull them down, away from the ears. See, the head goes back, but don't do it here. And inhale. A little more. All the way. Strong frontal stretch, everything. And exhale. Okay, stop a moment, shake out your hands, moisten your mouth, and second set. Check your feet, make sure they haven't drifted apart. Fingers interlaced, firm connection with the chin, and begin. Inhale, 1. Pull in the belly. I want to see some movement, especially when you have a good one there. And exhale, shoulders down, spine straight. Feel the stretch in the upper back. Touch the elbows, even if it's a struggle. Inhale. Now pull up the belly. Come on. Each and every time. Not just occasionally. All the time. And exhale. Mouth open. Shoulders away from the ears. The stretch in the upper back. A lot of you are still pressing in the lower back. Inhale. Chin down. Pull up more through the front. Don't do a backward bend. Shoulders in line with the hips. And then exhale, shoulders down. Head goes back, but shoulders stay in line with your hips. Come on, pull, pull, pull. And touch it. See the difference? Inhale. Pull up, pull up. More through the front. You're one of the backward benders. Weight in the heels. Now exhale, shoulders down. No, down, but keep down the shoulders only. You don't sag the rest of the body, and touch it. See how much off balance you get that way? Inhale. That means that your general posture is generally compromised a little bit, like here. And now exhale. Down with the shoulders, away from your ears, all the way down. Yes. Look at the ceiling. Elbows more up. Elbows away from the chest. And inhale. Coordinate the movements. Make it smooth. Make it elastic. And exhale. Spine straight. Empty the lungs completely. And touch the good. You figured it out. Inhale. Pull in the abdomen and squeeze your glutes. Start training your glutes to participate in everything. And exhale. Shoulders down, spine straight, and touch the elbows. Inhale. Stretch, stretch, stretch. Pull up the front, squeeze your buttocks, pull in the abdomen really, create a base that's really strong. And exhale, shoulders down, slide the fingers into the chin, and touch the elbows. Touch them. You have the elbows so high, but they're not touching. Inhale. One more time. I want to see a good one. Chin down. Now exhale. Shoulders more away from the ears. Yes. Now touch the elbows all the way. Okay. Shake out your hands. Moisten your mouth. And let's proceed to a half moon. Again, start with your feet, toes aligned. Turn hands sideways, bring the arms overhead, cross your fingers, release the index. Stretch up and loosen up. Go to the right, go to the left. Lubricate all those joints that are going to be working, the spinal, the hip, the shoulders. Keep working till you feel nice and loose after sleeping all night. And then come back to the center. Stretch up. Pull those fingertips towards the ceiling. You'll pull the arms behind your ears and get that chin at least 3 inches away from your chest. Pull the rib cage up, pull your stomach in. See, you're doing a sagging thing into your lower back. Chin up more. Locked elbows, locked knees. Stomach in, butt tight. Don't do a backward bend. Pull the rib cage, line up again the shoulders with the hips. And straight line to the right. Chin away from the chest. Arms behind you. Weight on the heels. Squeeze your buttocks and keep the belly in. Stretch that left side as much as you can. Locked knees, locked elbows, locked elbows. Tighten them. Come on. Upper body more back. Weight more back into the heels. Then come up, back to the center, pull out of your hips, pull up straight, all the way up, weight on the heels, tighten the buttocks, belly in, chin away from your chest, to the left. Push the hips to the right. Squeeze your buttocks. Keep the belly in. Don't sag. Keep that stretch going. From your heel to your fingertips on the right side, every single inch. Bring the shoulder blades back a little more. Keep the chest expanding. Again, creating more room for your vital organs. Push a little more and come up. Back to the center. Pull out of your hips. All the way up. Tighten the buttocks. Press them forward. Keep them firm. Look at the back wall and now stretch towards whatever you see there with the arms. Point the fingers to the back wall as quickly as possible so you get more of your upper body weight behind you. That way you get help from gravity. Lock the elbows, stretch the arms more. Feel the stretch. Focus on feeling a stretch between the knees and the chin. Push the hips forward, keep your glutes nice and firm, and drop back and come up. Go forward. Touch the floor, loosen up. Rock from hip to hip or bend one knee, straighten the other. Some of you might benefit from a quick squat down. And when you loosen up, hook your fingers under the heel. Put your elbows on your calf muscles and tie your chest and stomach to the legs. With that stomach staying in place, stretch up with the hips and down with the head. Imagine your hips touching the ceiling and your head touching the tops of your feet. Everything else in front glued together. Drop your head more. If you want to have your glutes stretch, you've got to drop that head. Don't stick it out like a tortoise. Let it drop. Let the weight of the head again work like traction on your body. Stretching out the spine to match your legs. Touch your forehead. Touch it. And come up. Arms down, couple of breaths. Second set. Feet together, arms overhead. Stretch up. Second set a little more quickly. Everything is set up. Pull the rib cage up and pull the stomach in. I'm looking down the line. All the people who've got lots of flesh there, pull it in. You know, when you disturb an area, the fat doesn't like to rest there. So it's one way of getting a trimmer body. Chest and chin up and go to the right. Elbows locked, knees locked, glutes tight, stomach in, push it. Second set, a little more intensity. First set is preparation and exploration to see what your body can do today. Don't cover your throat with your chin. The people who can see the mirror, watch your form. Keep monitoring. That's the purpose of all those mirrors. So you can see that you're doing it the right way. And come up, back to the center. First pull up out of your hips. Get that weight back into the heels. Rock back a little more. Pull the chest up, stomach in, squeeze your glutes, and go to the left. Shoulders in line with the hips. Don't twist out. That left shoulder a little bit forward, right shoulder a little bit back. Keep pushing those hips. That's how you get a stretch. A little more energy, my dear. Yeah, I know you have a long body. Oh, you got a little bit of owie there. Okay, push a little more. Exhale and push, stomach in, and come up. Back to the center, pull out of your hips, tighten the buttocks, press them forward, and drop back. Just drop back. Hang from your hips like a wet towel, arms back. Why are you pointing it to the mirror? Don't point to the mirror, don't point to the ceiling. Point to the back wall. Whatever you see, try to reach it with your arms. So your stretch in the front gets really good. And come up. Go forward. Grab your heels. Set it up quickly. Don't spend a whole lot of time preparing now. Now it's a delaying action. You've got to stretch those hamstrings. Grab them, elbows on the calf muscles, chest tied to the legs, drop your head, and up with the hips and down with the head. Everything in between should be stretching. The back of your legs, the back of your spine, touch the forehead. If you think you've locked your knees, pull up the kneecaps. That will be a verification. Forehead, chest, stomach touching position, kneecaps pulled up. You're home. And come up. Arms down, couple of breaths. Let's go to the strength work. Awkward pose. Look to your feet. Place them 6 inches apart in a parallel position. Look at it, verify it. Don't guesstimate, don't go in automatic. Arms in front, also 6 inches apart. Arms are parallel, fingers in line with your shoulders. Triceps muscles nice and firm, stomach in, lower yourself to the chair level. Watch your knees. Be aware that you want to keep the knees directly over the toes. Don't let them turn in. Everybody, the hips are either a little bit, everything is a little bit too close. Let the heels a little more apart. That's only 4 inches. Now keep your knees the same way. That's it. Push the upper body back. Press the heels into the floor. Stretch the arms more so you can really press into the heels more without falling down. And come up. Stand up in your tippy toes, lift the heels. Stand up straight, locking the knees, pulling the kneecaps up and the stomach in. Now lower yourself to the chair level. Again, monitor the knees. They stay over the toes. No turn in, no turn out. A little bit wider. Watch the knees. Go down, go down. Press down to the chair level. It's not a bar stool, people. And push up. And lift the heels, press the knees together. Create a pressure point. Imagine you have a coin between the knees. Don't drop it as you go down. Keep squeezing them. Point the knees toward the floor. Go down. Let the heels come up to meet your hips. Just don't sink into them. Keep the chest up, stomach in. Arms and thighs parallel. Strong abdomen, shoulders down, away from your ears, and stretch your ears away from the shoulders. Lengthen that whole shoulder girdle. And come up. Second set, plant your feet. 6 inches parallel. Look at it. Some of you think 4 inches is 6. Little wider. I know you're trying to avoid to have to monitor your knees, but it all works together. Okay, arms in front, chest up, stomach in, go to the chair level. Keep that weight into the heels, knees over the toes, keep them apart a little bit. Most everybody's knees want to go in, mostly that's because your hips are too tight. And when they want to spread out, that means that your hips are a little bit loose. Chest up more, more weight into the heels, chest up. Don't lean forward like you're going down a ski slope. And push up. Stand up on your tippy toes. Lift the heels, spread the toes apart, make a mini platform, and lower yourself to the chair again. Keep the abdomen active. Learn to teach your belly to work for you, not just lay there lazy. Sit down a little more. Chest up more. You're rounding your lumbar spine. Chest up more. Chest up. Sit down. Sit down. Something strange going on with your hips. Do a little bit like this from here. Pull your belly in and a little more that move. Yes. And now sit down. Sit down. Sit down. And come up. Third one, lift your heels, press the knees together, and go down, squeezing the knees till your thighs are parallel, hips and heels are almost touching. I noticed a lot of you brought the feet a little bit more together. That's not the idea. You have to make the thigh muscles and the hip muscles do it. Do you have a knee problem? Then why aren't you going down? Then bend the knees, the toes more, all the way. Go down a little more. Press the knees down. Just up. Just up. See? No problem. Okay. Push up. Arms down. Couple of breaths. Eagle. Arms overhead. Cross your right elbow under the left. Cross your wrists. Put your palms together. Thumbs to the face. Pull the elbows down till the fingertips line up with the nose. And now sit down in a backward bending position. No, bend, no. This way. Stick your butt out and sit down. More. Yes. Now right over the left. Twist. Hook the toe. Sit down more and slide the toe to the ankle bone. Chest up, stomach in. Knees to the center. Under the elbows. Concentrate. Focus on your balance. And change. Arms overhead, left under the right. Cross the elbows, palms together, pull the elbows down, and sit down in a backward bending position with the stomach in. Pull the belly in, don't let it hang over the edge of your costume. And go. Left over the right. Hook the big toe, then sit down, slide all the rest of the toes, so on the big toe will be resting on the ankle bone. No gap anywhere between the legs. Skin on skin, top to bottom. Try to level the hips a little more. Chest up more, chest up. And drop this hip a little more. Chest up, chest up. Backward bending more. Okay, stop there. Okay, this hip needs to be dropped a little bit. And second set. Arms overhead, right arm under the left. Elbows crossed. Elbows pulled down, fingertips in line with the nose, and sit down. Stick your butt out and chest up. There has to be a lumbar curve, a little more like this. Yes. In the beginning, exaggerate a little bit. A little more down, chest more up. Now, the right over the left. So you can twist to the left as much as you need to hook the big toe. Once the big toe is in place, you're in the driver's seat. Now you can bring the knees back to the center. Sit down, slide the toes down so there's no gap between your ankles. Chest up more, pressure more into the lower back. Dig out your lumbar curve. Our lifestyles seem to bury it. Too much computer and TV sitting. Change. Arms overhead, left under the right. Cross them. Wrap the arms tightly. Now you can interlace the fingers, but then you have to open them up again. Don't get in the habit of doing it with your fingers interlaced. You're not doing your shoulder girdle any favors that way. Pull down more and sit down. And left over the right. Twist, hook, sit down, chest up immediately. Feel the lower back, chest up, don't sag. Keep pulling the rib cage out of your hips. Your elbows have to come up, your chest has to come up, hips stay down, but everything else is rising out to create a waistline. You totally collapsed your waistline into the hips there. And change. Okay, I guess time for some refreshments, huh? All right, drink up. Hi. Thank you, right. Standing head to knee pose. Bend over, interlace your fingers, place your right foot in your interlaced hands. So the fingers are behind the midfoot, not the toes, not the heel. Bend over till your right knee is at waist level. Push your left knee back and mindfully contract your thigh muscles in the left leg. Nice, strong, totally mindful awareness that that's the body part you're working. That's what has to stay locked come hell or high water. And then with that in mind, slowly extend your right heel forward until the upper leg is parallel to the floor. The toes of your right foot are pointing back towards your head, and you're pushing that right hip forward, the right heel forward, and tightening the upper thigh muscles. The first set is for establishing a muscular foundation. Your heel has to be on the same level as your right hip is. Tighten the thigh muscles in both legs. Keep shifting the weight forward into the front of your left foot, preparing the body then in the second set to try to attempt bring the elbows and the head down on the leg. But first the foundation, change. Pick up your left, again, nicely interlaced fingers. Behind the midfoot. Bend over till your knees at waist level. Push your right knee back. Tighten the thigh muscles. Do not move the upper leg until you're 100% sure that your right knee is locked. Your whole upper body has to go down more. Go down more, go down more. Now push this back. Push this back and tighten it. Hold it there. If that's all you can do today, with the knee locked, then that's the reality of your body. Hold with your fingers and let your wrist stretch. Do not wrap the wrists around your foot. See? You have to let them stretch. Your fingers have to become like steel hooks, strong. So you don't need to involve the wrist joint into holding on in any of your grips. That's very important because that knee, the wrist is a very sensitive joint. There are 3 major nerves come together, and when you start irritating it, you're going to get pain and misery. You're going to get carpal tunnel syndrome and all that. Yoga is to correct all those things, not to create them. Push your knee back. Push your knee back. Come on. Tighten it. Listen to me. And change. Second set. Pick up your right foot again. Come on, keep moving. It's a warm-up. You don't stand around in the warm-up. You can rest when you get to the floor postures. Now push your left knee back. Tighten it. Pull your stomach in. Feel the weight go more to the front of your left foot. If your weight is in the heel, your balance will be worth nothing. You're going to be falling over. Now extend your right heel forward. Don't bend your knee. What kind of move was that? Push it back. Push it back. It's a strong enough, big enough muscle. Learn to use it. Once the upper leg is parallel, both legs are nice and strong. Bring the elbows down. Keep pushing shifting the weight more to the front so that your elbows can wrap around the calf muscle. When that's happened, tuck your chin in and see if you can touch your forehead on the knee. It all happens in stages. In order to get this posture, you have to complete and perfect each stage. And change. Pick up your left. Nice firm grip again with the fingers. Bend over. Make sure that your knee is at waist level. If it's too high, the heel will be too high. So extend it forward slowly until the heel is the level of your hip joint. Keep pushing that right knee back. Come on, I see some of you. Until you get that, there's just going to be misery and imbalance in all the standing poses. Push it back, tighten it, go down a little more. You're too high with the upper body. And let your wrists open up more. As you kick the leg forward, your arms should be stretching. The wrist should be stretching. The elbows should be stretching. It's not, you're rounding it. Hold with your fingers. Hold with your fingers, not the wrist. From here, it should be straight. From this knuckle, make this hand be straight. Straight. You're not doing it. You're trying to wrap the wrist around your foot. Until you get that straight, you're not going to have a very good result with the posture. Elbows down. What is this, standing around time? I'll catch you. You're incurring a debt. At some point you'll have to pay for it. Okay, let's go on to the standing bow. Put your right elbow against the right hip bone, palm in an upward position. Pick up your right foot from the inside. All 5 fingers together, little higher than the heel. Because as you start kicking, the foot will slide a little bit. And then your fingers be in the right place. And please don't wrap the wrist around again. The wrist has to stretch. Your elbow and shoulder have to stretch. Stand up straight with the left arm up. Lock your left knee. Look up towards your left hand or someone's hand in front of you. And slowly kick back. Point the toe of your right foot. Kick back till you feel a stretch in your right leg. Once you feel that, continue kicking, but now bring the stomach down. Keep going till your stomach and chest are parallel to the floor. Down, 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 down. That is the first thing you have to learn. Getting that upper body down. Especially if you're not very flexible. Flexible people can get away with a lot of other things, but when you don't have a posture, get that body down and kick the heck out of that leg. And change. Pick up your left foot. Elbow against the hip bone, palm in upward position, pick up your left foot. Touch your knees together. A little more towards here. Put your finger here. This finger here. Yes. And you too. You're too low. A little bit higher. Hold with your fingers. Right arm up, stand up straight. Lock your right knee, create a straight line. Don't let your left hip rotate. Keep the legs straight back behind you. Kick back. Kick back. Feel the stretch in your arm. Now go until your stomach is parallel. Go kicking, kicking. Once you find a place where you can hold it. Invest the time in the holding. The holding is what improves your muscle tone, improves your metabolism, gets this is an all-body exercise. It's not just you balancing on one leg. All the muscles through your spine and your hips, everything is 100% engaged. Just keep that right knee locked. Don't play with it. And change. Second set. Pick up your right foot again. Nice firm grip with the fingers. A little bit towards the midfoot because the hand will slip. Once it slips on the shin bone, you're lost. Nothing happens. Now left arm up, stand up straight, look up, lock the left knee and tight upper arm and kick back. Kick back, feel the stretch in your arm. That way it prevents you from pulling on the leg. It is the leg that's pulling your arm, not the other way around. So go down until your stomach parallel, knee is behind you. If you see the mirror, you cannot see the knee. The knee disappears behind you. The only time you start seeing the kicking knee when it comes up above your head. Kick, stretch, more stretch through the arms. Feel the connection between the two shoulders. Change. Left leg, pick it up. Touch your knees together. Right arm up. You're much too low. You are practically at the shin. No more up with the hand. Here. There's that nice handy bone in the middle of the foot. Hold on to it. It's perfect to hook the fingers on. Now lock the knee. Keep the weight over the big toe. When you find that you're falling out on the side of the little toe, that means you haven't rolled your left hip parallel to the floor. Now kick back. Kick back. Kick back and roll down. Kick, kick, go down. Stretch, stretch. Now stretch your right arm more. Feel more of a stretch in your left arm and hold it. Once you get that perfect fulcrum point where you have balance, you feel stretch in both arms, work the clock. Invest time in holding. That's the best thing you can do for your body to actually improve muscle tone through the entire body. It will make all the standing poses a lot easier. And change. Balancing stick. Feet together, arms over your head. Cross your fingers, release the index and stretch up, create a straight line. Pull chest up, pull your stomach in. With your chin away from your chest, not looking down, step forward with the right leg. Lock your right knee. Now as your chest starts going down, stretch forward and lift your arms. Lift the arms from the very beginning. That way they'll be staying parallel. Lift the arms, lift the leg. Chest down, arms up, chest down, chest down. Arms, torso, and leg have to be on the same parallel line. More down with the chest and step back. Stretch up, arms behind your ears, lock your elbows, chin away from your chest. Don't do a backward bend, sweetie. Straight up. Weight on the heels, chin away from your chest. Now step with the left. Lock your left. Don't look down. I saw you. Lock your left, lock your right, point your right toe, and start lifting the arms as you stretch forward. Lifting the arms, lifting the leg. Chest down. Chest down. Look forward, 4 feet ahead of you. Lift the arms. Your arms should feel like they're the 2 heaviest things you ever lifted in your life. Stay there and step back. Arms down, couple of breaths. Second set. Feet together, arms over your head. Cross your fingers, release the index and stretch up, create a straight line. Get that chin off your chest. Look forward, don't look down, step with the right leg. Lock the right knee, transfer all the weight in it. Now lock the left knee, left toe pointed. Go. Arms lifting, leg lifting, chest going down until arms, torso, and leg up parallel to the floor. A little more lift through the shoulders, chin looking forward more. Stay there, stay there. Roll your left hip down a little bit. Your knee should be pointing down. It's trying to point to the side wall. And step back. Step with the left leg. Don't look down, straight line. And lock your elbows. Lock them, and both legs locked. Lift the right one. Lift the arms. Roll the hip a little more down. Arms up. Arms up. Look forward. Good. Stay there. Stay there. Work the clock. Little more. And step back. Arms down. Couple of breaths. And we're ready for separate leg stretching. Feet together. Arms over your head. Take a 4-foot step to the right. 48 inches. Once you step, look at your feet. Make sure that they're either parallel or slightly turned in. If they're turned out, correct it. Do not let your toes be wider than your heels. You're not 4 feet anyway. The other leg too. The other leg also. Turn it. Now push your knees back, everybody. Pull your stomach in. With your chin away from your chest, hinge forward from the hips. When you're halfway down, slide the hands to the back of the legs and grab your heels. Or hook the fingers underneath the side of the foot. Now bend the elbows. Once your legs are in place, your legs are sort of like a frame. Your upper body is the canvas that you're stretching with the help of the frame. So bend the elbows to stretch that upper body till the forehead is resting on the floor. Bend your elbows more. Pull your stomach in. Anytime you want to stretch your lower back, give it support from the front. When you understand the agonist-antagonist principle, you'll know why it's so important. Whenever you stretch your lower back, give it support from the opposing muscle, which is the abdomen. It will also be good for your belly and your posture. Come up. Arms down, feet together, couple of breaths. Second set. Feet together, arms over your head. 4-foot step to the right, arms shoulder level. Parallel the feet. Be precise. The feet always affect how the rest of your body acts. Now push your knees back, pull your belly in. Hinge forward. Chin away from your chest. Lengthen the spine. Grab your heels. Work your arms and pull that head to the floor. Stomach in continuously. Bend the elbows and drop the head down. Make the spine be as long as your legs. I think you might benefit by simply trying to put your elbows on the floor. Keep pushing them back and just start going down a little more. Yes, like more. Keep trying to lengthen this. Touch it. Second set. No more chances. Come up. Okay. Have a sip of water to get ready for the big one, the triangle. The one posture that just too many people do it the wrong way. So be prepared. Pay attention and see if you can correct it so I don't have to go and kick your butt. Okay, everybody hydrated? Now put your feet on a line because those stripes are there for a purpose. The alignment of your feet is very important. So feet together, arms overhead. Take a minimum 4-foot step to the right. Arms shoulder level. If you're a tall, long-legged person, give it an inch or two more. Now stand up perfectly straight and turn your right foot parallel to the mirror. At this point, stand up straight and make sure both heels are on the same parallel line. Stand up straight, stretch your arms from fingertip to fingertip, pull the arms a little more back and press your hips forward. Now you're ready to bend your right knee, but continue pushing that left hip forward, rotating it internally. Go down. Your knee has to stay directly over your right foot toes. If it tries to go in towards the mirror, that means you haven't turned your left hip forward enough. Now once you're down, your crotch is parallel to the floor. Sit down a little more. Thigh parallel to the floor. Crotch parallel to the floor. Now tilt. Put the right elbow against the right knee. Push it back with the help of the elbow. And stick your fingertips between the toes. Drop your right shoulder more. Stretch your right shoulder up and pull away from your left hip with the rib cage and the shoulder. Hip more down, chest more up. Drop your shoulder more. Try to touch the fingertips from the shoulder. And come up. Turn the right foot, turn the left. Do not change the distance between the heels, the feet. You're not too close. Has to work the same on both sides. Now, turn the feet and push your hips forward. Stand up straight. I didn't say to bend yet. Do not bend the knee until you push the hips forward and the upper body back. That aligns your trunk muscles. And now slowly bend the knee. Continue rotating, pulling the shoulder back. Right shoulder pulls back, away from the hip, in totally opposite direction at all times. Sit down a little more, all the way parallel, not approximately. Now tilt the upper body. Touch the elbow, touch the fingertips. Little more rotation will bring you there. Pull this away from it. This is going this way. Chin to the shoulder. Good. So that this all stretches. And come up. Arms down. Feet together. We're ready for the second set. Okay, feet together, arms overhead. 4-foot step to the right, arms shoulder level. Turn the right foot. Line up the heels. Stand up straight. In neutral, no. It's not 4 feet, number one. And did I say you bend the knee? And why are your toes pointing towards the mirror? Get your legs apart and stand up straight. That's not straight. Your knee is bending. Now push the hips forward. And now bend the knee. And let this hip come this way. Hip, yes, sit down. Sit down. Sit down. Now keep the hips where they are. Just tilt the upper body. Feel the elbows against the knee. Fingertips stick between the toes. And then push this down and push this up like this, away with the rib cage. Till you have to have a little more twisting in the spine. Drop it. You're too high. Drop it. Drop it. Drop the hip. Drop it. Drop it. But not the shoulder. Okay, come up. Turn the right. Turn the left. Do not change the distance between the heels. Stand up straight. With your hips in neutral. Don't favor one or the other. Is that neutral? Don't bend the knee till I say it. Now push the hips forward and then bend the knee. It's a 2-step process so that you have a clarity, because see where your knee wants to go because you didn't turn this. The knee wants to come this way. That is hard on the knee. You're going to be complaining about your tendons and ligaments there. And then tilt. Elbow against the knee, fingertips to the toes. Look up at your left hand and close the left shoulder and stretch those shoulders apart. A little more down with the hip, a little more up with the arm. Keep that left knee over the toes and right knee locked solid. Okay, come up. Not quite as horrible as I expected. Somebody must be working on you. Okay. Separate it like forehead to the knee. Feet together. Arms overhead. Put your palms together prayer fashion. Take a 3-foot step to the right. 36 inches. And then turn to the right. Keep turning till both hips are squared towards the right. Now lock your elbows, drop your head down into your chest, choke your throat, press the chin into your rib cage, and curl in. Imagine that you're doing the rabbit pose. Touch your fingertips on the floor, touch your forehead on the knee. If you're not flexible enough to touch the forehead with the legs straight, bend the knee up, but do touch the forehead. That is a must-do aspect. Touch your forehead, not the chin or the nose. Forehead. Forehead. Bend the knee up a little more, but press the forehead into it. Curl in more. Curl in. And come up. Pivot on your heels. A little bit wider. And bend the knee before you go down even. Because you have to curl in more through here. And chin here. Choke, choke. Pull the belly in. That's it. Curl in. Bend the knee up. Bend the knee up till you can touch the forehead. Touch the forehead. Yes. Keep the pressure going against it. That's a reflex point. You'll notice that there are a lot of postures where you put the forehead either on a leg or on the floor. There's a biological reason. Because you stimulate a point that creates a relaxation response, including muscular relaxation. So that's why you need to struggle to do it. And come up. Arms down, feet together. One more. Feet together, arms overhead, palms together, 3-foot step to the right. Go. Turn to the right. That's not 36 inches, but 6 more inches. Be precise on the separation of the feet, okay? Be precise with everything. Now tuck your chin in. Press it into your chest. Choke your throat. Stimulate your thyroid, parathyroid, thymus gland. All these postures have an internal effect, stimulating various hormonal responses. Touch your fingertips, touch your forehead. Bend the knee up if you have to. That's nothing wrong with it. Bend the knee up, press the forehead. By pressing the forehead, little by little, as you practice with the forehead touching, you're going to be able to push that knee back and the forehead will be still on the knee. So this in itself is a way already to improve how your body functions. And come up. Pivot, turn. Square the hips. Don't leave your right hip hanging behind. Now pull the belly in. Press the chin into your chest. Do a rabbit pose. If you can do this posture well, the rabbit pose will be so much easier. All these postures interface with each other. And so the better you do each and every one, the better another posture becomes. Both hips should be parallel to the floor, not one higher than the other. Push that left hip a little more up. That's the one that is you would having a problem with usually. And come up. Arms down, feet together. And we're ready for the 3. Pick up your right leg, rotate the ankle until the top of the foot is on top of your thigh. Bottom of the foot is pointing away from you, either the ceiling or the mirror. Once you have the foot up there, push your right knee back and your left hip forward. Put your right hand to the chest and put your left hand to the chest. If you keep pushing that knee back and the hip forward, you won't need that left hand to hold it with. There's enough pressure to keep the foot in place, prevent it from sliding. You teach your core to support the posture. This posture is a conditioning exercise for your core. And the core is a very important part of how the rest of the postures come together. Don't get too comfortable holding the foot. Struggle a little bit. Try to lose it. And change. Don't take the easy way out. And left leg up. Rotate the ankle. Pull it up all the way. Get the heel as high as possible. And as you drop the knee, bring it closer to your right knee. Straight down is best. so that the top of the foot is pressing into your thigh. Then press your right hip forward against it. Now left hand to the chest, right hand to the chest. Keep pushing the knees so it gets pressure there, and try to lose your hand now. Concentrate. Mindfulness is where you develop during these balancing poses. And without mindfulness, it's really not yoga. It's just another form of calisthenics. Because mindfulness, the mind-body connection, is the core principle of yoga. So you have to train your mind to be as connected as your body to every single thing that you do. And change. Toe stand. Pick up your right foot. Bring the leg up high as high as you can. And then go down. If you can go in Namaskar, good for you. If not, bend over, touch the floor, and lower yourself slowly on top of the heel without sinking into it. Press the left foot toes into the floor and keep the hips a half inch off of the heel. Look at the floor in front of you and put one hand to the chest, put the other hand to the chest. Mindfulness is the 100% requirement for this posture. Strong abdomen, look at the floor in front of you, and push up. Left leg, pick it up. Go down. Is there a straw? No? And come up. On your back, Savasana. Now, Savasana is a very important part of the floor series. It has a form, just like all the other ones, with your body completely relaxed on the back. Put your feet together, but then let them fall wherever your hips want them to fall. Arms are by your side, palms are toward the ceiling. And all you do is focus on your breath. And mainly, focus on breathing through your nose. Close your mouth. Inhale through the nose. You can exhale through the nose or you can exhale through the mouth. But make sure you inhale through the nose because it has a very efficient filter that helps filter out any kind of pathogens. So it's a good habit to acquire to become a nose breather. As you breathe through your nose, also be aware where is the response on the inhalation. Ideally, in Savasana, it should be the abdomen rising and gently expanding. And as you exhale, it should be flowing into the floor. Diaphragmatic abdominal breathing is a relaxation type of breathing. That's really the only time that you get a relaxation response. If you continuously breathe from the rib cage, you're stuck in your fight and flight, which doesn't allow you to shift from the sympathetic to the parasympathetic nervous system. Everything we do, think, and create with or do to our body or with our body creates a metabolic event. So all those things have a cumulative effect. You are the sum total of all the metabolic events of your life up to this point. It's reflected in your posture, in everything, the way that you move in space, in your thought patterns, your belief systems, all that You're the product of what went on before. But here you have a tool with which to perhaps change and adjust the things that you're not happy with and that do not work to your benefit. Okay, let's start with Pavanamuktasana, wind removing pose. Bend your right knee up, interlace your fingers 2 inches below the knee. Be precise, don't go at mid-shin. As I was saying 2 inches below the knee, I saw people going almost towards the ankle. Be precise in the placement of your hands, in the grips and in all the postures, because where your hands are will direct the precise place where the reaction is in your body. Chin down, neck flat, shoulders away from your ears. There should be pressure in your lower right abdomen. If it is not, that indicates your hips aren't quite ready to do the posture. So your first job is to correct your hip tightness. Your left calf muscle is resting on the floor. And the only thing moving is your breath. Point of stillness in the floor postures is absolutely necessary for it to be yoga. Change. Left knee up, fingers interlaced, 2 inches below the knee. Not too low, not too high. Pull the elbows down, pull the knee more towards your shoulder. Create pressure in your lower left abdomen, the descending colon. This posture is extremely beneficial to your digestive system, organs of digestion and elimination. Just every single posture has some sort of effect somewhere in the body that is beneficial and normalizing the function of the body. So again, precision will get you the desired results much faster. Change. Both legs up, fold your forearms over the knees, and grab your elbows. Wrap your arms tightly around the knees, give yourself a hug. Use your elbow strength to first pull the knees together. There should be no gap between the knees, and then no gap between the knees and the chest. Flatten your neck, tuck your chin into your throat, and now you're ready to hold on to the knees and press the tailbone more down. That will do 2 things. If your hip joints are normal and well functioning, you feel it mainly in your lower abdomen, your transverse colon, your small intestine. If you still have hip joint issues, you're going to mainly feel it in the hip joints. But just understand that that's a corrective action. Hold it there, even if it's a little uncomfortable. And release. Arms and legs down, arms by your side, palms to the ceiling. Just you and your breath again. Low and slow, deep and calm. Try not to clutch the floor with your fingertips. Very often we have so much tension in the upper back, neck, and shoulders that it feels very strange, very awkward to turn the palms up in this one. If you're one of those, mindfully correct that little by little till you have dropped that stress monkey off your neck. And second set. Right knee up. Try to execute the second set within 2 to 3 seconds. The first set is exploratory. The second set should be the real deal. So place the knee in position, neck flat, chin down, shoulders down, elbows towards the floor, left calf muscle on the floor. That all should happen within 2 to 3 seconds. So the rest of the time, you have a finished pose to the best of your ability at this moment in time. Your body is changing continuously. And for you doing 2 classes a day, even more so than anybody else would normally change. Left leg up, immediately in position, grab the heel, push it down, everything perfectly aligned, neck flat. Tuck the chin in a little bit so that your spine, your whole body, the back side of your body should be evenly distributed from right to left, top to bottom. There should be no hot spots anywhere. Everything is just very, very easily normalized resting on the floor, only gravity pressing against it, and change. Bring both knees up, fold the forearms, wrap your arms around the knees, give yourself a hug. You might even tell yourself that you love yourself. If nobody else hugs you today, you will have had the mandatory hug, 2 hugs, for a good mental health, emotional, mental health. The human is a social being, so little hugging now and then is exactly in the human nature. And if nobody loves you enough to hug you, then you love yourself. You should always love yourself anyway. I'm sure Bikram will stress you that, if he hasn't already. And change. Arms and legs down, arms by your side, palms to the ceiling. Just you and your breath again. Low and slow. Let the body recover. This is when the real magic happens. The active portion is just like pushing a button. And the real thing that happens during Savasana. That's why you should never shortchange yourself on Savasana. Be as efficient and compliant to get in and out of it as all the other postures. Because without it, it wouldn't be yoga. Without it, you wouldn't get the benefit that this whole system creates. Feet together, toes up, arms overhead. Hook your thumbs. Now lock your knees, point your toes toward your head and pull your belly in. Take a breath, hold it, sit up. Grab your feet, hold on to them, and bang the forehead on the knees twice. Bang, bang. Double jerk, double exhalation. The sit-up is the one thing we do the most. It is a very well-conditioning posture. So be, again, compliant and conscientious of really doing it the right way. On your abdomen for the Cobra. Now here, the big problem is that the hands, especially for people who have practiced a while, are not precisely in the right place. So look at your fingertips and look at the tips of your shoulders and make sure that they're directly underlined, fingertips in line with your shoulder, and the little finger lined up with the outside edge of your shoulder. Your elbows should be touching your rib cage, your chin is on the floor, your feet are together, your knees are locked, and you're squeezing your butt for all you're worth. Take a breath on the exhalation, still squeezing those butts. Raise the rib cage off the floor to the belly button level. As you do so, look up, pull the elbows towards the hips, and the shoulders down and forward. Don't pull the elbows back. The elbows come back, but the shoulders don't go back. They come forward. And elbows stay close to the rib cage. There's no gap. You have to keep them in. And relax. Turn the head sideways so that the ear is on the floor. And arms by your side. Allow the neck to have a nice passive stretch. We don't do much of anything that would aggravate or affect the cervical spine in a negative way. So this is the way to do it, so that there's so much nerves packed together in very tight quarters. You never want to be aggressive. But a nice, gentle, passive, relaxed stretch is extremely beneficial. So be conscientious that you actually get the ear on the floor. Again, if you have a lot of tightness in the neck, you may feel that's difficult, but work on it. Okay, second set. Place your hands again directly under the shoulders. Be precise. Chin on the floor. Feet together. Elbows at the rib cage, not pulling out like broken chicken wings. Touch your ribs with the elbows or the forearms. Squeeze your buttocks, lock your knees, take a breath, and on the exhalation, come on up to the belly button. Keep those butts tight. Keep the elbows coming back till they touch on your hips. Don't let them go out to the side. Shoulders more down and forward, elbows more down and back. Keep breathing. Keep the butt tight. No spreading of feet. And change. Turn the head sideways, arms by your side, and breathe. low and slow. Observe the abdomen as it moves against the floor. You might also check and see what your lower back ribs are doing. If they're expanding on each inhalation, that's a good thing. That means that your breathing equipment is in pretty good shape. But if it's all still congested and the only thing moving is your front ribs, not too good. You need to take some corrective action. The good thing is that the whole system is extremely therapeutic, but again, it goes back to precision. Okay, let's go on. Please place your arms under you for the locust. Lift one side and reach as far towards the knees with the fingertips as you're able to, putting the elbows underneath you. Cover those ugly things with your body. Chin forward. Lock your right knee, point the right toe, and right leg up. 45 degree. Doesn't have to be too high. I would prefer that your right hip bone stays in your right forearm bone. That's where you isolate the muscles in the back of the body that we want to work. Change. Left leg up. Precision always mobilizes the right areas of the body. And change. Put your mouth under. Make sure the elbows are still underneath you. And take a breath. Both legs up together. Go. Push the fingertips into the floor. Get those legs as high as you can. A little more up. All the way. Hold it. And a slow, controlled let down. Arms out. Ear on the floor. Second set, get your arms under you again. Reach further down towards the knees. Make sure your shoulders go into the floor. Chin forward. Everybody ready? The right leg up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Change. Try not to wave it around. Left leg up. Once it's up, squeeze the muscles. Isometric contraction. Yoga is 95% isometric. So learn that muscle squeeze. And change. Mouth under. Double check those arms. Shoulders into the floor. Take a breath. And both legs up together. Go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and slow descent. Arms out, ear on the floor, and again just you and your breath. The best way to control the monkey mind is to stay connected to the breath. Develop your mindfulness by being first aware of your breath. As long as you're alive, you have breath. So get acquainted with it. Get acquainted what it does, how it affects your nervous system. Next one, full locust. Arms out to the side like airplane wings. Or if you're too close to someone, the hands a little more down like a delta wing aircraft. Chin on the floor, feet together. Take a breath. On the exhalation, look up and raise your rib cage off the floor to the belly button. Keep lifting the arms. Let the arm muscles get active. Arms and hands up more. Up more, look up. Hands up, feet up. Keep them together. Up more, complete lift. And a controlled landing. Head sideways again, ear on the floor, arms by your side. Just let the mind relax along with your body. Keep it here. Don't leave. Because a lot of times you bring the body here, but the mind is somewhere back at home or at the beach. And so this would be ideal if you learn to control and learn to be aware of your life as it happens, instead of being stuck in the past or in a future that may never even happen. So experience the reality as it happens. Let's do it again. Arms out, chin on the floor, feet together. Everybody ready? Breath, and get up there and fly. You can be a bird, you can be a 747. Your choice. Up more. Get those wings up. Put some air under them. Up more with the hands. Everybody, lift it. And slow, controlled landing. Again, great for your core. And we're ready for the bow. We did the lower back, the upper back, the middle back. Let's put it all together. Let's mobilize the whole deal. Grab hold of your feet. There's that bony shelf again, 2 inches below your toes. Grab hold of it so your wrists are stretching. Chin on the floor. Start with your knees together. They will separate as you kick up, but try to keep them no wider than your shoulders. Take a breath on the exhalation, look up and start kicking. The kicking is without interruption. You kick until your chest is off the floor, your knees are off the floor. You're balancing between the first rib and the hip bones. Everything else up. Everything in the air. Point the toes more. Try to keep the knees in the same county. Some of them are really wide. And change. Control your limbs. Learn to, again, develop awareness. Mindfulness, people, mindfulness. Attention management. The attention should be on your body, on your form. Not wandering off somewhere else. Not going on automatic. Because if you even have done it for 20 years, if you haven't done it the right way, you've got to re-educate your physical self. All right, let's try it again. Grab your feet. Point your toes so you have a good fingertip hook on the midfoot, on that low shelf. It's like a, don't hold your toes. Some of you are into the toes and the toes are very mushy. You have no purchase on them. They just keep bending. Chin on the floor, ready? Look up and start your kicking. 20 seconds of kicking without intermission till you're balancing on the center of the abdomen. You have a teardrop shape. The toes and the hands are always higher than everything else. Certainly higher than your knees. Kick up, kick up, kick up. A little more, almost there. And you got it. Arms by your side. Breathe and let go. Low and slow, the abdomen moving rhythmically, easily, expanding the rib cage, but mainly feeling the abdominal. Okay, let's go on to the fixed firm. Get up, go to the top of the towel and stand up on your knees. Try to follow me. Don't do what you do automatically. I want you to stand up on your knees with your knees together. Stand up with your knees together, touching. From that position, just spread the heels apart till they're wide enough for your hips. And then sit down. Put your hands on your feet, fingertips toward the heel, And now go back on the elbows. At that point, those of you who want to keep spreading your knees apart from the beginning, let it happen slowly, gradually, organically, as you need it at this moment in time. Drop your head, neck, and shoulders on the floor. Bring your arms overhead. Grab your elbows. Flatten your neck. And breathe deeply into any part that gives you any discomfort. This is a superb frontal stretch. All the congested areas that you congest by sitting your life away are getting opened up, oxygenated, lubricated, all the good stuff happening that never happens in the other 24/7. Okay, push up. And those of you who spent maybe several years getting into this posture with your knees apart are going to be surprised how quickly your body will respond and your knees will stay together from beginning to end as your body starts being stretched out in the right areas in the body. The hip flexors, which are so shortened when you're sitting so much, are the ones who are the major beneficiaries in this. So all those things come from precision of alignment. Sit up, inhale, hold it, grab the feet, then exhale twice, double jerk, double exhalation, bang, bang. Second set, on your knees again. Keep them together, spread the heels apart. Now sit down. And then go back slowly, gradually. Keep exhaling. The main thing to do is exhale, because we also have a stretch reflex that tries to prevent us from going backward. Exhaling the fear assures the nervous system that you're doing it intentionally and that you're not accidentally falling back and breaking your head. Arms overhead, hold your elbows. Feel that stretch. Really get connected to it, starting at the toes. The front of your feet, your ankles, your shins, your knees, your thighs, your abdomen, your rib cage, your underarms. Your lymphatic system is ecstatic for what you're doing to it. All those vessels close to the skin are being manipulated. And pretty soon, they're much more clean. Come up. Feet together, toes up, arms up, knees locked, stomach in. Keep it nice and strong. Sit up. Grab your feet, double jerk, double exhalation. Forehead should be hitting the knees. Your flexibility will improve tremendously if you at least attempt to do that. Sit at the bottom of the towel, sit back on your heels, Japanese style. Arms overhead. Put your palms together, prayer fashion, and stretch up out of your hips as much as possible. Pull your chin away from your chest. Lock your elbows. Bring your wrists closer together so your palms stay together. Pull your belly in. Your lower back has to do major stretching. So pull the abdomen in to allow it to happen. Now stretch forward. Slowly bringing the body down. Touching the forehead, touching the pinkies. Not touching the elbows or the wrists. Chin away from your chest. Keep pressure on the forehead. It will automatically facilitate your flexibility. Keep the hips down on the heels. Don't stick them up in the air like a machine gun. Keep breathing and drop the head more. Let it relax. Let it relax. Don't tense the neck. Inhale, come up. On your back, arms by your side. Breathe and let go all the tension. Feet together, toes up, arms up. Inhale, sit up, grab your feet. Double jerk, double exhalation. Bang, bang. Turn around. Second set, quickly. Sit back on your heels, arms overhead. Stretch up, pull the belly in, and stretch forward. Come on. Strong abdomen. Lock your elbows, chin away from your chest. Drop the head, keep the hips down. Pinkies only touching. Arms are stretching, the back is stretching. When you have the right form, there's a tremendous internal benefit. Your lungs and your pericardium gets a stretch. But only if the form is right. Otherwise, you've wasted, again, a perfectly wonderful internal benefit. Inhale, come up. On your back. Come on, a little more efficiency. Feet together, toes up, arms up. Inhale, sit up, grab your feet, double jerk, double exhalation. Try to pull the elbows to the floor as well. That will help you standing hip to knee pose. Turn around, stand up on your knees. 6 to 8 inch separation. It should be directly under your hip joints. People with wide hip joints would be a little wider, but usually 6 inches is quite enough. Put your hands on your hips, fingers toward the floor. Now push the hips forward and take a couple of breaths looking at the back wall. Disarm a stretch reflex. You're again trying to get away from this reflex action that prevents you from going back. And then reach back, grab your right heel, thumb on the outside, left heel, thumb on the outside. Now don't let your body weight sink into the arms. Keep that hip pushed forward so it stays over your knees. Pelvis and the knees support you. Rib cage pulls away out of your hips a little more, expanding the front part, creating more room for your vital organs. Put your right hand back on the hip, left hand back on the hip. Try to enter and exit the posture in a controlled manner, especially if you're a teacher and beginning students model after you. I mean, you may feel very secure just whipping out of the posture, but if someone who's a beginner watches you and tries to do that, then they twist their back or they fall over and all kinds of nasty things happen. So you always have to be aware that you're a model for less experienced people in the class. Good hygiene in entering and exiting the posture, I call it. Feet together, toes up, palms up. Inhale, sit up, grab your feet, double jerk, double exhalation. One more. Up on your knees again. Place your hands on your hips, fingers toward the floor, push them forward, look at the back wall. Take a couple of breaths in that position. And then reach back. Grab a heel. Then the other heel. Hold on to it. Press forward till the hips are over the knees. And pull the rib cage out, upward, away from your shoulders and your arms. Breathe. Feel the stretch. Again, anything you do to stretch the front of your body is a good thing. Put your hand back on the hip, then the other one, and relax. On your back. The difficulty with backward bending, it's not that it's hard to bend back. It is hard to stretch the front. That's the problem. And the sooner you stretch it all out, the easier your backward bending will become. Feet together, toes up, arms up, sit up and grab your feet. Bang the forehead on the knees. And let's do the rabbit. Center of the towel, sit back on your heels, knees together, feet together. Place your hands over the heels, thumb on the outside. If your hands or feet are slippery, fold the towel over it. Now tuck your chin into your chest and curl your body forward. Put the forehead on the knees, lift the hips up. As you roll forward, make sure you have a good grip on the heels. Pull. Don't let the forehead separate from the knees. Walk them in if there's a gap. Hips have to ultimately be perpendicular. Arms have to be straight. Hold it there. Breathing. And change. On your back. Feet together, toes up, arms up, sit up and grab your feet. And one more rabbit, please. Sit back on your heels, grab hold of them. Hold on and tuck your chin into your chest and forehead into the knees. Lift up. Pull. Pull. Stretch your spine. Pull the shoulders away from your ears. When you've gone as far as you can, everything else is good. Pull the shoulders away from your ears to get more of a feeling in the lower back. And change. On your back. Feet together, toes up, arms up, sit up. Double jerk, double exhalation. Turn around, face the mirror, bend your left knee in front of you. Put the heel against the pubic bone and the foot against the inner thigh. There should be 90-degree angle separation between the knees. Go over the right leg with the upper body, interlacing your fingers behind the midfoot, not the toes. Pull back on the foot so it's pointing towards your head. Press the forehead into your right knee and pull your elbows to the floor next to your calf muscle. When you can do that, you're ready for the standing head to knee pose, because this is exactly what the upper body will be doing without the worry of a balance. So pull the elbows more down, work your upper back, and change. Bend your right, stretch your left. Be precise again in aligning the heel in the center. Spread the knees a little more apart and make sure your right hip and right knee stay down. Grab your left foot, pull back on it, press the forehead into the knee till the whole leg is straight. Toes are pulling back towards your head. Elbows are on the floor. Hold it there. Breathing. And change. Both legs forward, lie back, sit up. Hook your first two fingers behind the big toes. And wiggle the hips back, right and left, so you get off your tailbone. The stretch starts at your sit bones. Pull your rib cage up. Straight spine, pull the belly in. Knees locked. And slowly bring that stomach down, then the chest, and then the head, not in the reverse order ever. Feel the stretch from your tailbone to the top of your head, and of course from the heels to the sit bone. And change. On your back. Now, one thing I was also meant to mention is when you do 2 classes a day, obviously you can't do both classes with the same degree of intensity. So I would suggest that people who are very strong but not very flexible make their most intense class in the afternoon, because they are become a little more flexible. Then putting a little more energy in the effort will get you a little deeper in your postures. But the one who are super flexible, they are a little bit stiff maybe in the morning, if ever, but doing a little more intensity in the morning then will benefit them, because most flexible people aren't strong enough. They've gotten away with the flexibility for so long that it's like unexplored area, feeling your strength. So that would be a good program to follow. That way you don't kill yourself. Even so you're urged to do so, still you're in charge, and there's only one body for lifetime. So, try to be kind to yourself when it's right. Frequency, precision, intensity. Those are the three parts that you need to integrate in your awareness. Okay, sit up. Turn around. Bend your left knee, go over the right leg, fingers interlaced behind the midfoot. Pull back on it. Forehead into the knee. Body weight to your left. Left knee and sit bones stay down. Pull back. Feel the stretch in the leg. Pull the elbows down a little bit. And change. Bend the right, stretch the left, grab your foot, and go for it. Gee, the temperature is really good. Is that how it's been? Oh, hotter at night. Well, good. Doesn't have to be hot all the time. Yeah. And change. Both legs. Grab your toes. Wiggle the hips off your tailbone. And lock your knees. The legs again is the frame. Your upper body is a canvas, so stretch it. Use those legs as a tool. Slowly bring the body down, inch at a time. Do you think he just wanted two girls to lead him out? I'm suspicious when there's so much tender care. I noticed. Touch it and come up. Feet together, toes up, arms up, sit up, and grab your feet, double jerk, double exhalation. Final spinal. Bend your left knee in front of you, face the left side of the room. Cross that left heel with your left knee with your right heel. Put it straight at the corner, not too far back, and sit up straight till your both sit bones are on the floor. Point your left toe and don't sit on your left heel. Now sit up straight and twist to the right from the belly button. Put your left elbow against the outside of your right knee and slip your left hand behind your left knee. Not in front of it, but behind. So your wrist is alongside your right ankle. More behind. The wrist has to be straight. Your left knee, if it's bending, you're not having the right grip. Slip it straight down behind your knee. If you're not sure what that should look like, isn't there a picture somewhere on Bikram's spine twist in the lobby? Go study it. And it will be a clarity will come to you. The thing you don't want to do is have that wrist twisted. You want to stretch it just like in all the other postures. And change. Put your right knee on the floor, cross it with the left heel. Put it the outside corner so that you have a little bit of space there of that right knee. So when you twist to the left, your right elbow will be on the outside of your, like this. Yes, good. Put so that the inside of your elbow is pointing to me, and just slip the hand straight down. Straight down behind it. Yes. See how the wrist starts staying straight? Remember what the dialogue says. The knee, the wrist, and the ankle have to be together. If you're holding the knee towards the front, it's way away from your ankle, so you're not following the dialogue. All you have to do is review what the dialogue says. Very good. Some of you are starting to understand and listen. Try to analyze what the dialogue says and what your body is doing. Change. Feet together, toes up, arms up, sit up and grab your feet, double jerk, double exhalation. Turn around, sit back on your heels for the blowing. Sit up nice and straight. Your spine should be straight. You place your hands on your knees, your arms are straight. Pull the rib cage up and relax your abdomen. You're going to blow out through your mouth like blowing out a candle, each and every time pulling the belly button towards your spine. Everybody ready? Okay, stop a moment, moisten your mouth. Second set a little faster. Ready? Okay, you got it. On your back. Take a moment to cool down, reintegrate your circuits. On the cellular level, you've been disassembled and reassembled in a new and hopefully better model. And that's going to continue for 9 weeks. Aren't you lucky? On your back, with your arms by your side. Close your eyes and focus on your facial muscles. Start by moving your jaw around. Just check and see that the TMJ isn't stuck. Your tongue isn't tied in knots. Relax your forehead and your cheeks. Get rid of all the frowns and wrinkles there. Smooth all the tension from your face. Let the back of the head sink into the floor. That will create a relaxed feeling in the back of your neck. Let that feeling flow into your shoulders, to your elbows, your wrists, and your fingertips. Take a really deep breath. Direct the exhalation to your rib cage. Really check and see that your vital organs have a more comfortable space now. Next breath goes to the abdomen. Belly should be soft and fluid and flowing into the floor right through your backbone, draining all the tension from your solar plexus area. Next exhalation to the pelvis. Allow the buttocks to have a complete meltdown. Sink into the floor. And breathing into the knees, let the thighs and calves do the same. From the top of your head to the bottoms of your feet, feel nothing but ease and a complete surrender to gravity. Let it just flatten you in the floor with each exhalation. Stay with your breath, low and slow, deep and calm. Experience the opposite pole of intense effort that you had in the postures to a complete and total letting go. So you start recognizing that most of the time you live sort of in a twilight zone, neither fully involved nor fully relaxed. Try to add more color and brightness to your experience of life. And also keep in mind that you're not just working that bag of skin that contains muscle, blood, and bone. You really are a multidimensional being of energy and light. Maybe at the end of 9 weeks, you have more of a clearer understanding of this wonderful thing.